Hey guys, everything new under the sun. Well, we've got a treat today, a treat for me anyways. I've always wanted one of these from the time I first saw them. This is a PowerPC iBook. It's a G4 and Apple, obviously, as you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this, sort of unbox it, and I'll tell you the story of it. But let's get it booted up, and then I'll tell you the story of it, and we'll do a visual walk around of the unit. So actually, let's first do a walk around of it, and then we'll move over and actually boot this thing up. Alright, so let's do a little walk around. So this is the front of it, obviously. Just take a look down the side. It is in very good condition, all things considered. So on the right side, you have the CD-DVD player, burner. It's a read-write. And then you've got the classic old power port. No MagSafe on this guy, of course. You've got the back hinge of the screen there and the vent. On this side, you've got the Kensington lock, a 56K modem, a 10100 Ethernet card, a FireWire 400, two USB ports to a USB 2, I believe, and a multi-display. And then you've got your headphone, microphone jack, and then another vent for the battery. On the back side, you've got your classic battery lock and a little button for the battery. This is a genuine Apple battery, so that's nice. And the back is even very good. None of the feet are missing, which you might expect to see. And the hinge actually works very good. It pops up, it's very strong, and one finger lift. So yeah, let's get to the inside of it, and let's see what the inside looks like here. So the inside, the keys are very clean. This unit is actually very clean inside. It's got a crisp power button, and nothing's hugely worn. You got the nice iBook G4 logo there on the hinge on the bottom of the display. That's pretty sweet right there. Worth a second look. And it's got a trackpad on it with a single button, of course. You got your stereo speakers, standard keyboard. You got your expose and your F1 keys, etc. All standard stuff. There's no right click on this unit, and you can't configure it for right click. To right click, you actually have to hold down the mouse button for a couple of seconds. The keyboard actuates real nicely. The screen doesn't have a webcam, obviously. That was brought in, I guess, with the Intel Max. It does have the microphone there. You see on the right hand side, the little dot there, and the little latch is intact and works. All the little rubber bumpers are there, and the screen, I don't see any dead pixels on this. Alright, so there's the walk around of it. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. Now this does not come with the original power supply. I think the original one had a little bit of a light around the side of it. This is an aftermarket one, and it's very short, actually. There's no MagSafe here. So I'll plug that in. The battery on this one is not very good, as you would expect with a one of this vintage. This is a 2005 Power PC G4, basically. So let's go ahead and we will click it open here. Nice little bounce. The hinge is very good in this, actually. And a one finger lift, just like that. And there you go. This unit is very, very clean, as you saw in the kind of tutorial walkthrough. They're not really a tutorial, but very clean. I did get this for $30 from some person local. And like I say, it was in such good condition. Everything just works. You can see my iMac in the background there. And so let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see what it looks like. And I even want to do a Geekbench run of it. I think I'm running Geekbench 2. I wanted to do a video on is this obsolete? Could I actually use this now? And that was actually my original plan. But anyways, let's get straight to it. We'll save this as a kind of the unbox, and then maybe we'll do another video about why I got this and what I want to do with it. So let's do the unbox here. Let's fire it up. We'll see what it looks like on the inside and see how it starts up. So this is with the I think it's the original spindle hard drive. There's no SSD in this baby from 2004, 2005. So 3, 2, 1. So you can hear the CD spin up. There's the bong, nice bong. Speakers work. And this takes quite a while to boot up. I'm sure it was fast in its time, but it takes a little while now. Alright, so we're booted up. I'll put in my password here. And on this one I actually didn't wipe the hard drive. I basically just deleted the other user as well. At first I created my own administrative account, and I went and deleted the users. Not as nice as a clean install, but hey, I find with Macs it actually works very well. Not to do a whole new install. I don't find you need it necessarily. I don't know that it improves so much for performance, but maybe it does. So we're up and running at the desktop. Let's take a quick look at what this looks like. I did put a couple of pieces of software on here. I've got menu meters running up here in the top, and we'll see if I can handhold this and zoom in so you can see what we're doing there. So you can see I got menu meters up there that focuses. I like that to show what's going up and down on the internet. And so let's go ahead and look at the About This Mac. I'm looking at the screen with the camera here. Maybe let's just look at the screen. Alright, so there's your Mac screen there. So this is the latest. I tried to do an update and there's nothing beyond 10.5.8, so I assume that's the limit. It does have a 1.2 gigahertz PowerPC G4 processor in it. Now this was not the highest one. The highest one is, I think, is a 1.4. But this is next to the highest, and this is a 12-inch. This particular one has 768 megs of RAM on it, and by default it has 256 megs to start with. There you see the memory, PowerBook 6,5, PowerPC G4 1.2 gigahertz, one CPU. So let's go over to see what's of interest to you. Let's go to the memory here. So it's got 256 megabytes of built-in RAM there, and then it's got one slot which has an extra 512 megabyte stick. You can get this up to, I think, 1,250 megabytes of RAM. Basically, you put a 1 gig stick in, I think, and that's where you can max it out. I think that's all you can do, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll check that. And that's it otherwise. I mean, there's not too much on it. It does has USB 2.0, I guess it is. And, you know, whatever. It doesn't have anything else in there. There's no SATA. It just has a standard old ID ATA drive in it. There you go. There's the drive. Fujitsu. So that's what it is. I'm not even sure if it's a, you know, I don't think it's a 7200 RPM drive, but I guess it could be. It might be 4200 RPM or something slower, anyways. That's pretty much it. That's it's got the Wi-Fi. You know, it's pretty basic, pretty stock. I don't have much for software on here. Again, just the basics. I actually removed some of the icons, iPhoto, iTunes, that sort of thing. This does have space on it. One of my issues was, and I'll maybe explain it more in another video, is that I wanted to at least be able to check my email and watch videos on YouTube and maybe, for interest's sake, make a movie on this. But I actually couldn't find the iMovie download from Apple that would work on this. I think you need the installer disk to start with. I'm sure there's places I could find it, but I didn't put too much effort into it. It gets pretty warm, this unit, and at the end of the day, I'm not that hardcore as to actually process this video on this one. I'll process it on my iMac there, and it'll go a lot smoother, I'm sure. I'll save that for another day, though. I just wanted to show you this, do a bit of unboxing, show you what it looks like, and yeah, there's not much else to say. I believe it has a 30 gig drive in it. Let's go to, let's see, Disk Manager, Disk Utility, that's what I'm looking for. And then we can see the actual disk there. So it's a 30 gig Fujitsu hard drive. There we go. And then it has the read-write CD on the side as well, as you saw in the intro there. So yeah, pretty standard. It's pretty classic old PC. In this configuration, it runs fairly smoothly. You know, Safari starts up, loads up pages fine. And it does some very minor browsing. If you go to Google, for example, it won't pull up the full Google mail.google.com. It'll pull up the text version of it. and Safari does not work with YouTube, but again, I'll share that in another video. Anyways, I want to show you that unboxing. Let's take a look at, see if, yeah, I think this is showing here. Yes, this is lit up. There it is, all lit up, the Apple display, so that works. Good little unit. The power cord is actually very, very short. You can see I just have it going down there to an extension cord. As I say, this is aftermarket. No lit up keyboard, but this is a nice little 12-inch form factor. This is a beautiful little form factor for R&R, and I was kind of looking at something to replace my iPad. This didn't quite get there, but it's a pretty neat piece of history anyways, and in very good shape, all things considered. So I know a lot of people will be interested about that. I'm going to end it there, guys, and I'm going to do another video where I kind of get into the Geekbench performance of it, and then also basically explain why I got it, what I was hoping to use it for, and even a series I was thinking of doing for it. So wait for that next video. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. This is the unbox of a PowerPC G4 12-inch iBook in the year 2017. And I may even do, is it obsolete, and show you. Maybe that'll be part of the next video. So I want to show you what its capabilities are, or at least what I've tried and demonstrated. I've not had a lot of success, and that's the teaser. But I'll show you why. But anyways, we'll leave it there. And oh, I will do the Geekbench now, just to show it to you. And we'll look at what the Geekbench website says shows for this one. Alright, starting Geekbench. I had to get Geekbench, I guess it's version 1 that I actually had to get. And of course, if you don't want to buy it, you only get the 32-bit version, but that's fine because this PowerPC is only 32-bit. Let's, I don't want to check for updates here. Let's see what version this is. This is the only version I can find. Oh yeah, version 2.2.7, so there you go. 2004 to 2011, classic. So I'm going to set you up. We're going to go through this fast forward. So here's the stats it's starting with. The early 2004 iBook G4 PowerPC, 768 megs of RAM. Now this is, again, the memory is probably going to help it a little bit because it only started off with 256 by default built in. But let's see how it does. And so we'll hit go with the PowerPC 32-bit option. For your viewing pleasure, we'll put it in 20 times speed. This ended up taking 6 minutes and 30 seconds, basically, with the hardware that it's at, with the 768 megs of RAM. Alright, so we're looking at the Geekbench score, for the average score, I guess, for the PowerPC G4. This unit, 651. So let's go to the results here. And what did we score? 685. Now I think that's because of the extra RAM, I would say. The RAM is the key thing there. But that's interesting. I was actually going to do a video about the world's fastest PowerPC G4 iBook, 12-inch iBook. But I thought better of it once I realized that it wouldn't quite do what I needed to do performance-wise as an extra system. Now I could do it just for fun. But to buy an SSD, IDE SSD, to put it in there and to max out the RAM, I'd be spending another $100 anyways, and at this point in time, it's just not worth it to me. So, yeah, I just thought I'd add that in there. So, yes, it's doing a little bit better than the average Geekbench score for this same unit, but I think it's because of the extra RAM. So, I will leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you make sure to also catch the next video I do, where I'll talk about why I got this unit, what I was going to use it for, and all that good stuff. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it, guys. The iBook PowerPC G4 12-inch version. Beautiful, beautiful little machine.
Okay.